All right, guys, welcome to my channel. You are invincible. Today, we are going to have a very interesting conversation with a dear friend of mine who is an excellent physiotherapist and a sports therapist. I would like to bring him on right now. His name is Himu.
Hello.
Hi, Himu. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's so good to see you.
Same here. Good to see you too.
What is the sound behind, which is like a whistle or something which is coming and going?
Oh, it's a it's a typhoon happening here right now in Macau where I live. So there's a lot of wind which is causing the noise over here. So yeah, sorry. It might happen all through the session, but
Oh,
apologize for that.
okay.
But unexpected.
Not a problem. As long as I know and the audience knows that it's not you whistling, it's all cool.
Yeah. So yeah, see, it's happening
but
right now.
but it's. I hope it's not too scary in the sense it's all safe for everyone.
Yes, usually it happens like this is a typhoon season over here where I live, so it is always expected like this. But depends on the intensity of the typhoon. There might be some damages, but we hope nothing happens.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
Let's hope for the best. Okay,
sure.
guys, we'll start with our amazing conversation. But before we start, I'm going to introduce Himu and say a few words for him. So, as I said earlier, Himu is a physiotherapist and a sports therapist. PHTLS, which is a pre-hospital trauma life support. He's certified with emergency first responder. He's a FIFA certified football medicine specialist. Having almost 12 years of post-graduation experience, he started his career working with fitness people and educating fitness trainers while he was studying his bachelor's degree. After his bachelor's, he started working full-time in a gym, helping the clients with their injuries and teaching fitness trainers about anatomy, physiology, and biomechanics. To pursue his career towards his passion, he went to UK, where he did his master's in sports therapy at the University of Central Lancashire. And again, during his studies there, he volunteered in many football and rugby clubs as a sports therapist and emergency first responder. Not just this, he has been a part of the famous Rugby Football League of England. Wow. His thesis during the master's degree was done with England cricket county level fast bowlers. This research work was later published in one of the European journals named Scienza Rehabilitativa, which means rehabilitation science. After gaining a lot of experience with elite cricket, rugby, football, marathon runners, and cyclists in UK, he moved to India and was heading the physio department of the first sports medicine hospital of South India in Chennai, where he was rehabilitating all ACL and shoulder surgery patients. Then he moved to Dubai and started working in a clinic while he was still volunteering most of the sporting activities in Dubai, one of which was the popular Dubai Rugby Sevens tournament, where he was working with international Rugby 7 players of different countries. Among the international players whom he has treated is the famous football player from Barcelona team, FCB that is, Jeremy Matthew. He then started to work with Bollywood Parks Dubai, the world's first Bollywood theme park, where he was working with different profile of actors, dancers, and stunt artists from Bollywood. He was mainly handling the Dabang Stunt Spectacular show. However, he was also handling almost 200 artists in the theme park. He then got an opportunity to work with the world's best water show, where he is handling the world's best circus artists and gymnasts. And he is the only Indian physio to have ever worked or is working in an international circus show. Having achieved this prestigious job, he has not stopped working towards his passion, and he started his YouTube channel and Facebook page called Physiomania, where he delivers useful info about injuries and physiotherapy. Although he lives far away from India, as he mentioned in Macau at the moment, he still does online physio consultations to the performers with whom he had worked in Dubai. His recent interest towards cycling have motivated him to educate cyclists about their injuries and tips to improve their performance. Himu, I seriously, man, the amount of expertise that you have and knowledge is mind-boggling. Seriously, hats off to you.
A lot more to go. I mean, this is nothing. I hope the travel goes on and achieve more things. There is never end for anything. So let's see how far this goes.
Absolutely, this is just the beginning. But
Exactly.
I'm really honored and privileged to be associated with you. So guys, we actually met in Dubai. As I mentioned, Dubai parks, the Bollywood parks. We were a part of this show called The Stunt Spectacular, where Himu has treated a lot of us. So that's how the connection that we have. So,
Yes.
Himu, I want to actually understand, how this entire thing started for you. Like the journey of a physiotherapist. How did it all begin, and why physiotherapy? I'm quite curious to know.
I mean, like everyone has their own aims or goals to achieve or something like that. They have their aim from childhood. Like when they are studying, if you ask someone, they would say, hey, "I'm gonna become this. I'm gonna become that," or blah blah blah, something like that. But to me, it was nothing like that. I was not having any aims or any goals or anything. If you had asked me at a particular age, I would have said I'm gonna become a musician, or I'm gonna become something else or something like that. Yes, I did go for music classes and all those things. So it kind of fluctuates every as you grow up. So there was this time. I mean, I like sports, so there was one particular time when I was watching a cricket match or something. So that's the time I was watching the match, and I don't remember like who was playing against who. So at this time, one of the players got injured, and it was a crucial match, and he wasn't able to continue playing. So at that time, there were like a few guys who ran into the field, and I don't know what they did. I mean, now I know what they did, but at that point of time, I don't know what they did. And all of a sudden, he started playing again, and he scored, and he won the match for the team. So I was wondering, oh my God, this is something cool. So maybe I want to be this guy. So that's how I was inspired towards physiotherapy. That's how I wanted to get into this sort of field. Not to mention that I also was, you always have something deep in your heart that you'd like to help people with pain, or you'd like to help people who are disabled or who cannot do their daily jobs or something like that. So I always wanted to help or do something in their life. So this one, and with this particular incident, that's how I started researching about what is this profession, like who is this guy, what does he do, what does he has to study, what is the course, like how to become that person. So in my mind, always it was like how to become that kind of person, like how to get into that kind of profession. So that's why I chose physiotherapy as my profession. But again, as I was studying, it became my passion, and now it's almost like a decade now I'm working as a physio. Yeah, but that's the main incident which I would recall, which inspired me to become a physio. And later on, when I knew like what this is all about and how to become this one, I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to do that or no? Because it's like basically you have to study everything what uh, uh, a student of MBBS studies. But again, it's the basic things which you have to study, but you also study a lot about muscles, different bones and nerves and all those things. We go into detail about all those things. So it was a bit hectic, but again, because I loved what I was studying, it was easy for me to come over all these things. And even after finishing my bachelor's, it was still like, well, I wanted something more. I mean, yes, of course, I'm a physio now, but how do I become that person whom I saw like years ago? How do I become? So I started researching again, like what are the courses available for this kind of profession. So that's why I chose my specialty in sports therapy. That's why I went to the UK to continue my course there. So that's how I ended up in England, and I did my master's sports therapy there. So that's how
Wow.
it all happened. But I'm happy that all those hard works, at least now I'm able to do what I love. So yeah, that's how it all started, and that's how it is going on. I hope this continues.
Wow. So if I may say so, I mean, you actually followed the point of being able to help people in order to give them that peace of mind when it came to the pain, and actually remove pain from their life, and how you have
Exactly.
so beautifully converted that aspect to your profession. So guys, this is again a beautiful example of really following your heart and then your dreams and just moving ahead with it, and you'll be successful. He's working with the best show in the world, following his heart. I mean, it's a beautiful inspiration. Seriously, thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing this important point, because even I didn't know about it. That how you
Mm-hmm.
started, that instant when you saw somebody on
Yeah,
TV, and that's
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Wow,
mean,
wow.
usually, like, not just me, every one of us have something or the other what we love to do, but because of certain circumstances, we might not have that opportunity to do what we love, and so we take up something else and we do, but still, we always, at the bottom of the heart, we always have a regret that maybe I still should have gone for the thing which I love. So I didn't want it to miss that opportunity. I didn't want it to regret later in my life that I would maybe if I have been that, maybe I could have been better or something like that. But still, yeah, it's all you know, all the supernatural powers that help you, or your hard work and everything. Your parents, they support you for everything. It's not just me. Like, it's not just pure my hard work or something. You need a lot of support for that. But I'm thankful and grateful for being given an opportunity for this. So that's about the thing.
True, true. I totally agree. As in, if I can also add a point where when your mind and heart are in sync with each other, when your intention is very clear, the
Exactly.
universal energies, they start to sink in together and support and guide us,
You're right.
which is
Exactly. Exactly.
exactly what has happened. Just to keep moving ahead with that.
Exactly. No, no,
Awesome,
no. I mean,
awesome. So
definitely,
that
if you
brings
love
me.
something and if you put all your hard work on that, then definitely you will achieve that thing for sure. If not today, maybe tomorrow, or one day, definitely you will achieve that goal or whatever it is. So, yeah. Keep working on
Absolutely.
what you love, so you will achieve it.
So inspiring, guys. So inspiring. Seriously.
Yeah.
So that brings me to the second question,
Mm-hmm.
which is related to your practice.
Yeah.
What are the latest trends in online physiotherapy? If you can share some hack with our viewers at the moment, because a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
are working from home due to the entire
Exactly.
global scenario that is going on. So,
Yeah.
what would be the latest trend in your practice? And if you can just share a few hacks, they'll be more than happy.
Sure, sure. No, before telling about the hacks and things, I would like to bring about this whole pandemic thing, which is happening, which has completely like flipped the most of the industries in which like physiotherapy is also affected. I wouldn't say affected because it has actually helped the way it has to be. Because people usually have like a misconception about physiotherapy. Like, if you ask someone like, hey, are you going to physio? What are you doing there? Like, oh yes, I go to the physio, and the physio does something to me, like he stretches and he gives some electrical treatments and blah blah blah. They do some release, soft tissue release, or they do some massage or something like that. This is what people are thinking that physiotherapy is, but what actually physio is treating someone with exercises, helping them to correct the way of they live. I mean, correct their lifestyle, doing some lifestyle modifications, or how, like you asked me, like people are working home from now, how can they avoid the injuries while they are still working at home, because they have to sit in front of computer for a long time, and it's going to be tiring for them, and they might not be used to that, all those things. So this pandemic has actually like helped the profession in a way that people are more towards the online physio consultations. With online physio consultations, I mean, the latest trend is that, like, if you see any person, they say online consultation of physiotherapy and all those things, wherein they are actually having a better interaction with their patient. Yeah, because if you're in live, like if you're face to face, if you're having a face to face appointment with a physio, or if the physio is having a face to face appointment with a patient, there are chances that they might skip few questions, or they might rush into the treatment because they only have like 45 minutes and they have to do everything in the session. So they might skip few questions, or they might rush into the treatment. But with this online consultation, because I'm not seeing you physically, I'm not touching your bones, or I mean your joints or muscles physically. I need to know everything while I'm talking with you, like far away, like miles away from you. So I need to ask all questions in detail from top to bottom. I will not miss a single question, like about your history of previous injuries, like what all you do. This actually helps in getting a better rapport with the patient, and it actually helps in getting a better interaction. It helps in with a better history taking. You get more history of the patient, and it allows you time to plan your treatment. It encourages the patient to be more non-passive, I would say. It encourages patient to be more active, because they are doing everything. I'm not going to touch them, or I'm not going to do anything to them. I'm going to show them the exercises. They're going to do the exercises far away, and they're going to sometimes it is like online, like I'm online and they do the exercises and I see them doing the exercises. Sometimes it is like they record the exercises and they send it to me, and I have to tell them like this is how you have to do it. I have to do some changes. So the compliance of the patient is more. The patients are more cooperative with this way, because they understand that this is the only way they can get rid of their pain. So it encourages their active lifestyle, even though they are at home. It encourages their active lifestyle. You are actually motivating someone far away from you to do some exercises for their benefit. Yeah. So this is the online trend which is happening right now. It is so this pandemic has actually helped my profession in this way. So this is the latest trend. Like people are doing this online consultations and online treatments and all this stuff. However, I mean, to me this is not new, because I have been doing this. You might know I have been doing this like ever since, like maybe more than 5 years or 6 years. Like I used to get some text from someone and they say, hey, this is happening to me. Can you tell me what to do? And I ask them, can you send me some photos of the particular part which is hurting you? Can you do this movement and take a video of that and send it to me? And then I give them some corrections and exercises and all those things. So yeah, this is actually I'm happy that the fellow physios, they are also like involving in such kind of activities and motivating the patients to be more active to help them from the pain. And talking about the hacks which you had asked me, yeah,
the viewers will be waiting.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a rocket science, something which is really hard to do or something like that. The main goal is I'll just give you a short example before I tell
Sure.
about the hack.
Sure.
The need for this exercises, or the need why you need to do, you might not have pain at all, but still people would ask, I don't have pain at all, I'm okay, why should I do this exercises? But if you consider like a door, if you don't open the door for a few days or something like that, it gets rusted, the hinges get rusted, and then it becomes very hard to open the window, or it becomes very hard to open the door and all those things. So if you had opened the window every day or something like that, the window is still moving, it's just not happening, uh, there is no problem with the window or the door at all. So if you want to relate this with your own body, if you're active, nothing happens. Your body is moving, the muscles are active, it gets all its energy, and the joints are getting its nourishment from the fluids which are inside the joint. So if you're moving, if your joints are mobile, everything is perfect. But the day you stop moving, that's when everything happens. If you relate the door which you didn't move for like 2 or 3 days, it's the same way. If you don't move a lot for 2 or 3 days, then you start getting this pain or something like that. So
Right.
if you were working as like a normal life, like the pre-COVID life, every day you at least walk to your work, or you at least walk, yeah. But now you're like at home doing nothing, and we're still doing a job, sitting and working in front of computer all the time. So
Maybe
you
more
are
number of hours now.
exactly, you're not active at all. So you're more prone for musculoskeletal injuries, I would say. Yeah. So this is why you should be doing some exercises whenever you get time. You don't have to like specifically fix like, okay, 30 minutes or 45 minutes of exercise per day. Like taking some micro breaks when you're working, just like you're sitting in front of computer and you're sitting, and the best thing you can do is just shrug your shoulders up, hold it for 10 counts, yes, and relax. Shrug, 10 counts, and relax. 3 times of this, and you can sit and you can squeeze your shoulder blades back and hold it for 10 counts and relax. And some gentle shoulder rotations, forwards, backwards, all these things. You are moving around, so you're using all those muscles. So you're strengthening those muscles in a way, and some gentle stretches, like tilting your head to either side like this and the other way, helps in relaxing those muscles. Yeah. So if you do all these things, you will not get those musculoskeletal problems, or I would say you are less prone for injury. So your muscles are active, your muscles are strong enough, so they are helping you for you to sit in front of computer for long hours. So these simple exercises, just these 3 exercises, will help you with your neck pain or your upper back pain, all these things. And there are a few more exercises for lower back and shoulders, but I might not be able to demonstrate all these exercises right now. But these simple exercises can help. But however, I have all these exercises in my YouTube page, wherein anyone just can go and watch those videos. I haven't done a lot of work on it. I'm just working on it. So there are like a couple of videos for lower back strengthening, glute strengthening, and all those things. So people can go to the page and watch the videos. That will help. And these exercises are safe. They are not gonna hurt you, or they're not gonna cause any problem or something like that. They are really safe. Anyone can do it. It's not like a contraindicated. It's not like if you do this exercise, it's gonna trigger your pain or something like that. Nothing at all. Exercises help with pain. They do not cause pain. So yeah, I'd just like to make a note of that point. So yeah. Sure. And also taking some micro breaks, just having a small walk within your living room or a quick stretch can help you from avoiding injuries or back pain or neck pain.
Or also the blood to flow, because sitting, for a couple of hours.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So the more you're active, the more you work on your muscles, you're pain free, and you can avoid injuries.
Right. So I would like to say this to the audience that it's not that difficult to take care of yourself. When most of the times, like it has happened with me many years back when I was not that vigilant. But now that I'm very conscious and very aware, it's just few of these simple things that Himu just shared with us. It's so simple. It will hardly take 5 to 7 minutes. So you can take that out maybe every 2 hours. Maybe one can do this if
every 2 hours.
or,
Yeah, every 2 hours or every 3 hours. It's as long as you are doing it, it's fine.
yeah, and this might help to increase your productivity also because your level of tiredness would reduce and
Exactly.
your focus and concentration would increase by doing so.
Yeah. Moreover, exercise has a benefit. It when you do any exercises, it increases the endorphins in your body. Endorphins
Absolutely.
are helpful to relax. I mean, they relieve the stress, and they are also
The
called as
happy hormones.
the happy hormones. Yeah,
Yeah,
your body is secreting more of the endorphins, so keeps you happy, out of stress. So yeah,
absolutely.
that's how easy it is.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing these hacks. I definitely am going to incorporate for sure.
Sure, pleasure is mine.
So, yes, this is something which even I'm
Mm-hmm.
intrigued and I'm quite curious to know.
Mm-hmm.
Any personal experience where you had to go above and beyond your work knowledge for a patient? Walking that extra mile. Has anything on those lines happened once or, a number of times? Feel free to share whichever.
If you ask me, or if you ask anyone, they would say any medical profession, they would say every time.
Okay.
I mean, that's that is how the medical profession works. Like, even if you see this pandemic time, you might see every
Oh, yes.
medical professional, doctor, nurses,
Absolutely.
they are doing
I,
like many miles extra. So
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I would like to add this here for everybody that Hemo is part of the entire group of real life heroes. These guys are insane. They are working like non-stop for the people. Really hats off to you and thank you so much, Hemo, and to your entire fraternity.
I mean, not me.
Because
I'm not actively participating in the COVID thing, but there are like many other physios and nurses and doctors who are like spending their lives. And I know some of my friends
yes,
who work in physios who work in the ICUs. Oh my God, they are like, it's really a tough job for them. So yeah.
for sure.
So if you ask me generically, yes, every time we go extra mile. If you ask me personally, I would say again yes, because like you said, I work with very elite professionals, like
Professionals.
highly demanding
Job profile. Yeah.
job profile, high energy demanding profile. So for every single person, or not just now, even in the past, I would say, we have to do a bit more extra every time to achieve what the goal is. Because handling a sedentary person who is going to work and coming back is easy. Yeah, you treat him and his pain is relieved, and because the particular person is not doing anything challenging, or it's not he's not doing anything which is going to trigger the injury again. But in with my field, I'm working with some elite gymnasts or acrobats and divers and all the stuff. So for us to handle this kind of profile is challenging. So we have to, every time we have to go for an extra mile, or like 100 miles, maybe more than that, because you treat them, and then because we have a goal,
Right.
some other person might not have a goal. Because with this type of professionals, you have to make them not just better, you have to make them 200 times better, so that they can perform well. So they are injury free, so they are gonna perform well, and yeah, you can see the outputs right away. But if you are not doing that extra work, then maybe they can still do well, but again, it's gonna revert, it's gonna occur again. There might be chances for recurring injuries and so.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So in my case, if you ask me, I would say every single person whom we treat, we always try to go for the extra mile. So because we don't just handle the physical injury. We also need to handle their mental ability to cope up with the loss of time in their work or loss of time in their daily activities and all those things.
Right.
So yeah, it's challenging. So we always go for the extra mile. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, to think about it, I mean, each and every person with a specific ailment or injury is a person to be treated to the best level. So I feel you're absolutely correct when you say that, for each one of them, it's always an extra mile. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So next, which I would like to ask you is, again, an important question. How do you think you can contribute during these trying times, and what that is actually getting you motivated to do so? How do you manage?
Yes, like I said, this pandemic has flipped over all the industries, and mine is not an exception.
Right.
So, how I can contribute to the profession and how I can contribute to the general public is that's the main reason why I also got more into this online thing. There are many people like who have these chronic injuries, and they might have to take a physio session every 2 days or every 3 days or something like that. But because of this pandemics, like they are not able to get out of their home. So basically, they're all locked in at home, and some might not be able to afford to pay for the online consultations because most of them have insurance and all those things. Some of the insurance companies, they do not accept this sort of online consultation. Some of them they do accept, but again, there's a lot of paperwork happening between that. So it's a tiring thing. It consumes a lot of energy for all those things. So that's the reason why I thought maybe I could do something for this kind of people. So that's why I started free online consultations for people who are in need. I also thought usually we do have lots of conferences for our physios to just keep our knowledge updated and all those things. Unfortunately, there are many webinars or seminars happening right now, but I thought maybe I should also contribute something towards this. So that's the reason why I started posting more about. I read a lot of research articles, and I try to understand what is this and what is this. So maybe I can put it in a easier way so that people can understand. They don't have to spend like 2 hours in a webinar, or they don't have to spend like half a day attending an online conference. So if you put it in a smaller way, in an easier way, they just read it. Of course, you're not delivering the whole thing, but at least they get an idea. Okay, fine. Okay, I have never heard about this. Maybe yes, I will try to look on it. So people get motivated. I'm not talking about the patients. I'm talking about the fellow physios who are also in a similar situation, who cannot attend all these conferences, who cannot afford time. So people who might be busy with their families, there might be many female physios who might be busy with their family or kids and stuff. They might not have the time to attend in a conference. So I thought maybe if I put it in an easier way, it might be easy for them just to read a small post so they can understand, at least something goes in their mind, right? So next time when they have to handle a patient with that kind of a problem, this might go in their mind and they might implement it. So yeah. And what motivated me is, again, is my passion. My thirst is not yet satisfied. I'm not satisfied with where I am now. So I thought maybe I should put on some more effort. I should try to do something better to help not just the patients but also the physios and all this stuff. So that's the reason why I started this Physio Mania page, and that's how I'm trying to cope up with the frequency of the posts and all those stuff. But if you remember, I also conducted online short course, like back to school course. I took four episodes of shoulder anatomy and physiology. So
which
this
was
is my
brilliant. Yeah. I was a part of it, guys. It was brilliant. But you know so many things about the physiology, the biomechanics. This guy, Himu, is fantastic. Seriously. Please go on.
Yeah. No, like I said, that's a small contribution for me, which I can do to fellow physios, or I mean, not just physios. Also, there are lots of fitness trainers, and there are lots of other trainers who are into online training. So it can help them also to implement all these ideas in their personal or professional work. So that's why I thought, why not? If you're capable and if you have time to do, then of course, if someone is getting benefited, then obviously you can do things.
Right. You know, something which you mentioned about going in the mental space of the patient. So that's what I really want to know, that at times, is it actually necessary and more crucial to treat the patient or the person at mental level before even getting into the physical aspect? You know, how the mind works and how it actually increases the pain, the psychosomatic thing. So you think mentally at times you may or have treated the patients more?
Oh yeah, every time. Because there's I don't want to complicate with a lot of medical terms, but there's just one small term. It's called biopsychosocial matter.
Biopsychosocial. Okay.
Yeah. So the biopsychosocial system involves the whole person with the pain. Bio is biological, like their physical part of the body.
Right.
Psychological, their mental status. Social, their social ability to perform with the pain. So only if you address all these three aspects, you can have better results. If you are not addressing one aspect, if you're just focusing just on the physical aspect, which is the pain or which is the body, then you might not be able to achieve a complete or 100% result with a particular person. So every time when you see, for example, just take a person with a low back pain. If you're only treating his pain, he might feel better, but if you're not addressing his mental pain, or I would say his how mentally he's affected because of the pain, because what you see is just a pain, but what he's going through in his mind is a lot, because of the pain maybe he might not be able to perform, or he might not be able to walk, or he might not be able to do a few things that would have already affected his mental ability. He might go in a sort of like a depression or something like that.
Right.
That doesn't happen with acute pain, but it mostly happens with chronic pain. People who have had pain for ages and ages, if you have not addressed that, then you might not be able to see that result exactly. So only if you address their mental ability, then you can have a better result. Otherwise, no. And then you have to go to the social ability. So he's depressed, basically, because of the pain. You have addressed it, but you have not addressed his social ability, because in the past he might have been in pain, and he might have been like psychologically a bit moved out, and he might not have participated in a few things which he loved. He might not have participated in a social gathering, or he might be a bit socially away from what he loved to do. So you need to motivate him to start. Why don't you start just walking? So why don't you just go for a jog? For a walk, or why don't you involve in some activity which you like? Why don't you go for a swim? So encouraging them to actively participate is definitely going to help their mental status. So every time you handle a person with a pain, then definitely, if you're not addressing their psychological and social status, then you're not going to achieve a better result.
Wow, so it is all interconnected. If you
definitely 100%, yes. Sometimes if you just address the psychological aspect, then the pain will automatically go away, because it's all to do with the pain cycle and how exactly. Yes. I have like a couple of questions which I will ask you later, because it is something related. Because it is something related to what you are dealing or what you are handling these days. So I have a couple of questions. So remind me. I will I will definitely ask you before we finish the session. Yeah.
Sure. So the next question which I would like to ask is again, it's on the mind body connection.
Yeah.
Does mentally feeling good help to heal the physical injury or the physical ailment that a person is having?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I said yes is because if you are mentally healthy,
yes,
then you are motivated. You will not see exercise as an obstacle. You will do the exercises and you will do everything and you will see the results immediately. Yeah, this is why I said yes. No is because mental ability does not help to heal injuries physiologically. You know what I mean? I have a shoulder pain. Okay?
Right.
I have a shoulder pain. I cannot move my arm, but I'm mentally perfect. But still, there is actually an injury which has happened here. Just being happy is not going to heal my injury. I might get motivated to move my arm. Yeah? But physiologically, it is not helping.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, having a great mental status will help you to get out of the injury or recover faster, but it will not technically or physiologically, it is not going to help the injury, or it is not going to heal the muscle which has torn out. It's not going to heal the tendon which is injured. You know what I mean? But it will help you to perform well. In a way, you get more strength in the particular muscle, and you perform better and you recover. So that is how it is linked.
Right. So that means, for example, if I've got this right, if a person is highly active in his profession and he needs to get the recovery like ASAP, so even if he's in the best of mental state, he will have to undergo, the physiological transformation in terms of whatever, from the perspective of physiotherapy or any other treatment. Yeah. But if a person is not that active and he or she wants to heal himself, which might take a really long time, but then they need to have that timeline and that kind of a patience to go through that entire rhythm of pain and resurrection. Correct? Yeah. So it totally depends upon what a person is doing in life, and if they're ready to let the brain and mind take over and heal themselves. But I guess in today's day and age, it's quite difficult seeing how fast the world is, fast paced.
Exactly, yes. I mean, no matter how mentally you are fit, or like you might have like a great mental capacity to handle your injuries and all these things, but still you need to respect your body's time of healing period. Every injury or every particular part of the body has a healing time. There are stages of healing for every soft tissue or everything. There are like 4 stages, like acute, then it goes into subacute, then it goes into proliferation, then it goes to remodeling and all this. Finally, but this all happen along with your rehab. It's not like, okay, this has happened, now this is the step. It doesn't go that way. It's like one adds on to the other, one adds on to the other. And in case if you do not have like a not proper, I would say, if you are not mentally motivated to do your rehab, or if you do not want to recover, then no matter what you're doing, if you're not motivated to do those exercises, you might not, because for any injury or for any tissue to heal, there has to be some sort of pressure outside. So external pressure or internal pressure that helps in the remodeling of the injured structures. So that's why we insist the exercises are required no matter what. You should do some exercises if you want to recover or if you want to perform well in whatever things you're doing.
Right.
So you need to have both things. It's not just if you have mental thing, then you don't have to do exercise, nothing like that. You still have to have both. Like I said, biopsychosocial, you have to have all these three things to recover completely from your injury or whatever it is.
Right.
So yeah, this is about the mental thing. I mean, it's a huge topic. So it's an ocean. So if you talk, you can talk about a lot. There are like so many researchers, recent articles we are releasing every month or every edition. There are like so many advanced things about the recent researches that are being done with regard to pain medicine alone, like how pain works, how people are responding to pain, how someone is
the placebo effect which happens.
Exactly, yes, and how fear can cause pain, how exactly. So fear is the first factor which is not good, which will affect your rehab or recovery. If you're but again, it depends on the person who's handling you. If he is fear, if he's afraid of you, if he's afraid to make you do some activities, then obviously the patient is being like freaked out, like he's saying, oh my god, I don't think I can do it. That's when you need to motivate your patients. That's when you need to strengthen their mental ability to take in all those things. So that's the power you need to give it over to your patients.
Right, exactly. I mean, it is so important that you yourself are in a state where you know that this can be relieved. The person can be relieved from that pain, from that injury, and to have that faith and confidence. That is what is going to transpire, as your energy and your vibe, which will go to the person. And
exactly,
I guess half the job is done when that person feels, oh, my physio is so confident. That means I'm already, healing and getting better.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first impression you give to your patient, like giving them confidence and giving them confidence is the best thing you can do. So once you give them the confidence, then automatically your job is like almost done. The rest of the thing you just have to work with the body. So
absolutely wonderful. So
there's a lot. I have to ask you a few questions, but finish.
Oh yes. So friends, as you saw, Himu has an amazing and vast experience when it comes to physiotherapy, biomechanics, biopsychosocial diversity, right?
Biopsychosocial model,
So please feel free to get in touch with him. He has an amazing Facebook page as well as a YouTube channel by the name of Physiomania. You can keep reading it down under we have in front of you. And thank you so much, Himu, for giving time. It's always amazing to speak with you in terms of the amount of knowledge I gather. I'm like a sponge. I like to always, get the best out, and you always enlighten me. Friends, what I really like about our conversations and when I speak to Himu is that even if it is 100% technical, the way he metabolizes it into simpler language and shares it, and I was like, oh, now I understand. So it's not, as I said, the high order thing, but he completely shares it to a point where okay, now I understand. So really, thanks, for being always kind, generous, and humble. Thank you so much, Himu, for
we're not done yet. Okay. No, I just wanted to ask you like few questions. Because you spoke about the mental health, like that reminded of you, that reminded of me, like what you are doing these days. Like I know, like I wanted to ask you, like, what is all this like life or mind coaching about, and what inspired you to become like a motivational speaker? What is all this about? Like, how do you do that? Because you asked me about the mental health, like I said, we try to motivate people, like we try to give them the mental ability to process the things, whatever is happening. So we do it like how we do. But I want to ask
Right.
you, like, you are like specifically doing this. So what is all this about? Like, how do you do it?
So, if I put it in this manner, that we always had people who have guided us, who have always showed us the path in life
Mm-hmm.
since many decades.
Yeah.
And but primarily, if you look into the last couple of years, because of this new age and the
Mm-hmm.
philosophies that are coming into light, which have already existed, but because we have so much of exposure with
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
internet today, so
Yeah.
from a professional point of view, it's these are the terminologies: life coaching, mental coaching,
Mm-hmm.
success coach. So what basically it is that you actually delve deep into a person's psyche. You
Yeah.
try and understand them, what
Yeah.
they're going through, what they feel about their own life, in
Mm-hmm.
any aspect of their life. It can be any, be it family, finances, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
career, anything. So you try to break through their own barriers that exist in them. And
Okay.
while we get to know them, we try to uplift them from that state of mind, because something is like, it's like a lock, and they are not able to find the key to that lock. And because of which they
Mm-hmm.
go through this entire melancholy and depression and
Yeah.
questions that why isn't their life moving ahead. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just about being able to understand them at a core deep level, by
Mm-hmm.
asking a lot of questions, and trying to know them, making them feel
Mm-hmm.
that it's totally fine. it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine to be the way you are, but
Yeah.
you have goals. You need to reach your
Exactly.
goals. Let's divide
Yeah.
those goals. Let's first understand why you're feeling this way. So going to that
Mm-hmm.
course, so that's what a mind coach or life coach basically does. It's breaking through those barriers, overcoming the hurdles along with them. So it's a process. We work together, we move forward together. And
Mm-hmm.
what really motivated me to actually delve into this little deeper is because uh, I've always I have had this trait of encouraging people, and always was told also that you have a lot of positivity and you have an amazing
Yeah.
optimistic self.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
used to wonder while my growing up years, why am I like this? Why do
Mm-hmm.
people say these things, share these
Mm-hmm.
things? It used to make me feel good, but I want to
Yeah.
know why. So
Mm-hmm.
as I said, the internet, books. So that's when I got to know that I can be that someone who can motivate and inspire people. And
Yeah.
thankfully, I feel very fortunate to have undergone experiences in life which have taught me a lot of things. I have faltered, I have
Mm-hmm.
fallen down, and again got back up again. So the reason why I was able to get back up again, I feel, if I can do that, so why not motivate and inspire somebody who may be going through the same thing? Or the best being that before they even have to go through it, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
guide them and inspire them. And this entire situation which we face globally since last 5 months,
Yeah. Yeah.
seeing how people are feeling and dealing with their lives, again put me in this state of mind that I need to do something about from my own life to be able to motivate and reach out
Yeah.
to as many as possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the reason why I got into it. But I have been, if I say from professional point of view, it's been 4.5 to 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So started with teens and different parts of the world for that. And yeah, I mean, age is not a barrier. It can be
Mm-hmm.
anybody from any age group. We all are one at the
Yeah.
end of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes,
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, like, it's not easy to motivate someone. Like, you just meet someone and it's not easy to speak something and just motivate them or make some changes in their life.
true,
I'm sure, like, you
true.
have like a natural skill of motivating. I mean, or like others, but which I have felt personally when we used to have this conversation, all this. Philly
Oh yes,
conversations. So
the
I
chai, the
always,
saffron chai.
yeah, it reminds me of Dubai. Yeah,
Yes.
so all those conversations, like I always felt like yeah, I mean, you have this sort of skill which you're able to motivate someone just by talking. So I'm sure like you're gonna rock, and I'm really like happy for all those people who get your advice on this. Like they are like lucky to get this sort of.
You're just being too kind. I just try to do
Array,
my best.
no, I'm serious. I'm serious. No, it's my personal experience. So I'm just, I just thought I would share
Thank you.
with others. But I also wanted to ask you, like, see if you're handling a client, like you might do like one-on-one session, or like one-on-one coaching, or you might do a group coaching. But how do you see the progress? Like, how do you measure, or how do you see if they are improving with regard to their attitude or their character or whatever their goal was? Like, if you ask me, I would say, I mean, in physio aspect, I would say, okay, fine, we check the range of motion, we check the muscle strength. This is how we see the progress, because it's all objective. You see and you see the results. But with this sort of coaching, I mean, it's really hard to, and that's my personal opinion. Like, it's really hard to see if they are progressing or not. How do you do that?
So, a few things which are very important is initially to really understand what a person is going through.
Mm-hmm.
Once you understand, okay, this person is having an opportunity. I call it an opportunity. I don't call it a problem. So, if a person is having an opportunity in this realm of his or her life, I know, okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right, this is the kind of thinking that they have. So I go backwards. I try to, ask them questions and what would have happened in the recent past, or when they started to feel that way, and
Mm-hmm.
what was the point of reference. So once I'm
Yeah,
able to delve in that aspect, it might take some time. With few
yeah,
people you just get to know. Some people take some time, because everyone is
yeah,
unique and beautiful. So once a point of reference is known, we
mm-hmm.
work towards in that perspective. Then we start to channelize them in a direction that, like how beautiful you said that, you might encourage your client to just, why don't you just go for a walk, if that be
Mm-hmm.
helpful for you. So, in
Exactly.
a similar fashion, might just tell them that, okay, this is what you said right now. You said, I don't think I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, as simple as that, this is just a hypothetical example. You just reframe and tell them that, why don't you say that, I think I can do this, instead of saying I can't do this.
Okay.
So working from the minutest of pointers like that, and as we continue to speak, the non-verbal listening skills come into play. If you're talking to each other, if you can see each other, or even if you're on the phone or you meet someone,
Mm-hmm.
you know the communication, you know the physical, mannerisms, and
Yeah,
you know the body's mechanism. If you're in a defensive, how you act, and if your mindset is something else, you start to
yeah,
open up. So,
yeah.
these small things you start to notice each time you have an interaction with that person. And that's when you can gauge that, okay, the person is slowly and is gradually, taking baby steps, but is going in the right
Mm-hmm.
direction. And so many times they have come across and told me that, oh, I'm sorry I said this, but yes, I will say it this way. So they become conscious about what they want
That's
to
great.
do, and breaking it down to the goal setting. Telling them, okay, don't think of a goal at this
Mm-hmm.
magnitude. Maybe just break it down. Let's do it, week by week thing, or just day by day. Even if you falter after 10 days, every day is a new
Mm-hmm.
start. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
very it's an amazing process to see a person evolve with time.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
times,
yeah.
but what is really important in this is that person needs to be ready to accept and evolve and change for the better.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna it's not gonna do any good to me, but what it will do good to me is that seeing him or her happy and moving in the right direction, elevating their consciousness, managing their life on the highest energy level. their life will transform like this, So that is what gives me happiness, and that gives me the courage to also at times be strict with them. But I don't tell them that okay, you should do this. I'm not having the steering of their life. I make sure that they realize that the steering of their life is in their own hands, and they can change and they can transform. When a person understands that they have it inside them to transform and be the creator and be the writer of their own life, that's when the magic happens. That's when the possibilities start to manifest. So it's a point to point reference. Each conversation, each meeting, you can start to see the changes happening. I mean, that's what I have seen in my experience. And,
but do they? Sorry.
No,
but
please go ahead.
Do the clients see the changes by themselves, or you see and you point out them? Hey, see, last week you were like this. Now, sometimes they might be doing few things which they might not realize. They would have actually changed their attitude, or they would have changed the way they used to do. They might not realize it, but you tell them that, hey, do you realize this? You're doing this way. Or sometimes they just say themselves, hey, last week I was this, now I'm this. How this?
Yeah. What the beauty of this entire thing is, when your energy changes, when your thought process changes, your entire glow, your entire energy of your body starts to change. When that starts to happen, you're definitely vibrating with a different aura, with a different energy level. So you can actually see from the person. So most of the times, I'm just quiet. I just notice, I just observe. I let the horse speak.
Okay.
And even after, then when I can see the transformation, if they themselves don't say about it, I put a tinkler. Oh, by the way, how are you feeling? How is it going? What's happening? The statements that start to come, or the way they start to reply, that itself is from the horse's mouth, and that's when I realized, oh, okay. So I already know that it's happening.
Okay.
Because if it is working, at the deepest level for me, it has to work for somebody else. So that's what the point was, that the person needs to be ready to transform their life. They need to be open to the possibility of a higher self in terms of life, every aspect. That's where that small window opens to get into and
get it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I mean, this is really amazing. I'm gonna ask you like a personal question. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Again, this is something related to what you speak about. So, I know that you were one of the lead actors in the Debang show at Bollywood Parks in Dubai. Yeah. And I have treated you for a particular injury.
Yes, the knee injury. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I cannot say that, but you can say that.
Yes.
Okay. I know you had I wouldn't say serious, but like almost kind of annoying pain, which at one point I thought maybe you should take a break for a week or two, and then I suggested you that, but you did not. Yeah, I still remember that. Like you said, no, I can manage this. I mean, you recovered well from the injury. You were doing a great job with exercises and all this. Whatever I did on my part, you really cooperated well and all these things. But what was your mental status at that point of time? Like how did you cope up with the pain, or how did you cope up with the injury, and still you managed to perform? Because like I said, I wanted you to take a break for a couple of weeks or something like that. I suggested, Abhi, we need to, let's rest for some time so that your knee recovers. But you did not. You never gave up. You said, no, I'm not gonna take a break from the show. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you were one of the lead actors. So, but still, I came up with this suggestion. How about you if you take a break and we do all the rehab thing, and once you recover, we can take, but you did not. So, how did you, what was your mental status at that time?
So initially, I was really, I'll be honest, I was really irritated that why the injury has happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it was a stress factor for me at that point of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really thankful to you and grateful that you were able to pinpoint where the pain was, because before I started taking the rehab, the pain was already there in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I was trying to manage it, but because we were doing so many shows per day and it was only aggravating, I was like, uh, might as well start the proper treatment. So at that point of time, I was very clear that from my mind, I was very clear that I need to get out of this. I just can't be in this pain, you know. And I knew that I'm getting the best possible treatment for it. And what really wanted my own self to understand is that from here I need to be perfectly fine. So earlier in the conversation, when you mentioned about fear being the biggest ailment, the fear was there initially when the pain started, and gradually I was fighting through that fear. That why am I fearful? I need to get over this. So from me, mentally, I was, so okay, I talked about a little bit in terms of the brain and from the quantum physics and from the neurons perspective. So when we think, we are creating new connections in our brain. The neurons are being formed. So whatever thought comes, instantly in that microsecond, that connection has been made. The more conscious your thought is, the more power you're giving it to that thought, the more energy, it keeps getting stronger. So for me, my only statement was that I'm healing myself. I was focusing my energy at that particular point where the ailment was, and I was sending that energy that I'm healing. It's getting better. I'm getting fitter each and every day. And that I was tackling the fear and reducing it with a lot of courage and a lot of strength and fitness in my mind. And that was itself which made me come out of that situation, because I was very clear I'm not going to stop performing. And I always used to fight through my pain. So through my, thankfully, maybe because of the mind-body connection, I've always, fought first with my brain to get it in sync with my body, and then I always talk about energies. So I always try to sync my mind, body, and soul, or the energy that people call, and really try to heal from within rather than the external stimuli. The internal healing and the internal understanding of the pain is so important, and because of which I was able to get out of that. And I've been amazingly accident prone in terms of injuries, because I've been into martial arts since I was 11 years of age. So something or the other, from my head to my toe has always has happened. But it is the psychosomatic thing. If here you're totally fine and you're strong and you have the conviction that come what may, I'm healing. It's getting better each passing day. Sending those vibrations, sending those energies to that path, you will see how fast you recover. And if you have a doubt, you'll go back one step. Then you feel, I'm sinking, but there is that instant where it could be faltering. So we always have to be very careful. So the mind body connection is extremely important.
Amazing. I mean, it's a great. Thanks for sharing this personal experience. Like, it's a great thing. Like, which I think which everyone who is injured should also have this sort of attitude or mentality to handle their things. And if they understand all this, how this pain works and all this, the neuron things and the brain body thing, I think everyone can really recover well from their injuries. And like, I'm really proud that I treated you, because you have such a good understanding about how the body works and how the brain works and all those things. It's really good to hear from. I know I'm not a patient, but I say how a friend whom I used to treat is responding. So yeah,
Right.
good.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
So any more questions?
No questions, but I just would like to tell something to whoever is watching, guys.
Sure.
It was lovely, amazing conversation. Lovely talking to you, and also please to the viewers who are watching, Abhishek is coming up with his own YouTube channel, which is called You Are Invincible. I'm sure whatever he spoke now, he's gonna talk a lot more in his videos on the YouTube channel. So it's launching on 27th, is it?
27th of August, yes.
Yeah. I'm already waiting for the date. So yes, guys, please show your love and support to this amazing, great person, my dear friend. Show some love to him. Please follow or subscribe his YouTube channel. Wait for 27th of August. Otherwise, and then I don't have anything to tell much. I think I've already said a lot.
Thank you, Himu, for your kind words. Really appreciate it. So Pleasure. It has been great to have you on this forum. And
Likewise.
As you rightly said, guys, I'm coming out with my channel on the 27th of August. It's called You Are Invincible. Please stay tuned. And I hope this session has enlightened you in a lot of ways when it comes to your physiology, when it comes to how you should take care of yourself. Please feel free to get in touch with Himu. His Facebook page and YouTube channel have the same name called Physiomania. He's subscribed, and as he shared with all of us that he does have online consultations. And don't hesitate if you're having any kind of issue, please get in touch with him. And thank you, Himu, for spending so much of time. I know it must be
Pleasure.
post midnight for you, and sorry to keep you up.
But no worries. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Same here. Thank you so much for again, elaborating the minutest of points in such a beautiful and simple manner. And it's always a pleasure to speak with you. And I hope we can have these conversations time and again. And
sure,
I'll keep looking forward for your videos on your YouTube channel, Physiomania. And also looking forward for many more sessions which you had to your shoulder.
Working on it.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Thank you so much for giving your precious time to us and watching our interview session. We will keep you updated for many more such interviews and many exciting things coming up. Take care of yourselves. Be happy. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye-bye.